What up? What up? What up? What up, Moose? What's going on?
What up? What up? What up? Really boring slate yesterday, so I'm glad we didn't cover it. Uh, Everybody was on RNG and LNG, and they both nutted. So if you didn't play those two games, you lost like me. So congratulations.
Well, Moose, right now we are watching the end of this TSM victory over FlyQuest, or what appears it is inevitable. And this
Hmm.
is just a good example of why the title is what it is today. Because today, Moose, today we exercise the demons that are the run bad demons. These demons have followed me ever since I met Kevin. I've been running bad in life. I've been running bad in league. I've been running bad just in everything. And today, I exercise those demons. And this was a good example of it because I said there's probably no way that TSM wins this game, but you almost have to bet it at like plus 315 or whatever it was. And there it is. There it is. They went ahead and they won this game. And so hopefully we'll get some people trickling in as the shock wears off here. Um, but yeah, it's time to start running good, Moose. Time to start running good. That I killed my underdog tickets along with double lift. Failing to get 3 kills. Had a couple opportunities. Tenacity stole one, but I guess even if he had given that kill, it wouldn't have mattered. But Vikla just doesn't get it done here. And let's uh, let's hop into it. The crazy thing is it doesn't even matter that I have some TSM lineups. It doesn't even matter because I don't have them with EG, and that makes me sick. It's disgusting. It's gross. It is what it is. Let's hop into this slate, Moose.
All right, let's hop in.
First game we have is over in LCK 3 a.m. We've got T1 versus Sandbox. This game seems like it's actually a lot closer than what these odds indicate. I mean, I think what we see here is Sandbox being minus 115 to take a game makes a ton of sense, actually. Um, Plus 290 to win the series. I don't know. Like, look, T1 has not looked completely unbeatable. Sandbox at times have looked very good. I think, obviously, I favor T1 here, but I want to take some shots at the Sandbox money line, the Sandbox spread.
Yeah, I really feel like this is a matchup where you have to take Sandbox pricing on the plus 1.5 and the ML because Sandbox are looking like a team that can really compete with the top dogs. 2-1 win over KT, narrow loss to Gen. Um, Other than that, they've pretty much round trip everybody. Sandbox have proven that they're probably the fourth or fifth best team in the league, and T1 are, obviously we consider them our top dog, but they have been slipping a little bit. They did give up a game to NS. They gave up a game to KT, a game to D plus. So I could definitely see a potential upset. I thought, I would put this line closer at 315, and I think the books have it at like 450.
Yeah, I mean, look, you don't have to look too far. We can look at our screens right now. We can look at what just happened. This is a best of three, so that does change the dynamic of it a little bit. You look up and down these rosters, and the T1 one just obviously going to the World's Finals, doing what they did last year, looks and feels a lot better than this Sandbox lineup that you look up and down, and it's just not necessarily as exciting. When I say not necessarily, it's absolutely not as exciting. This is a slippery pickle. It's a slippery pickle of a team, and I don't know. I like the plus 1.5. I think Sandbox takes a game here. Maybe T1 is caught tripping, caught sleeping, something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think you hit the net, the you hit it on the head there, and I don't know
The
really
nail?
about
Did I hit the
overs or
nail on the head?
unders. Yeah, the
Is that,
nail,
is
the
that what you were
the,
looking
the
for?
head
The
on the
nail?
nail over there. Yeah, I think you really smashed it. The only problem is that both of these teams
Smashed it.
are
Smashed the nail.
scoring kind of low. I don't know if this is going to be a high scoring game or just one of your typical we're going to macro until one of us pulls a slight lead type of game. Um,
Yeah, well, let's take a look at what that kind of looks like, Moose. When we look at T1, this T1 team so far has 256 total kills. They have 256 total kills. I'm going to tell you how many they have in wins in a second here. Got a calculator. They have 15 wins, and 236 of those kills came in win. 236 divided by 15 is going to give us a 15.7. Obviously they've had some higher and some lower. It's not a terrible number given what we've seen recently. Now, what I will say is the Sandbox team, what do they do in deaths? Probably not a ton. I don't have all my stuff updated, that's why I'm doing it this way. But 128 divided by 9, they're giving up 14.2. So I think realistically, when you look at this from a DFS perspective, you're probably expecting I don't know, a 30 kill sweep, something in that range, 28 to 30 kills. Every game probably being around 19 or 20. I would venture to guess if we looked at it. There it is. I guess they're not laddering these up. I guess maybe they've been getting killed because of the extreme volatility that we've seen throughout the spring split. But 21 and a half feels kind of right. I probably lean towards the under on that, Moose.
Yeah, I think the under makes a lot of sense. In this spot, I definitely like the under. If it was 20 and a half or 19 and a half, that's probably where I would be a little bit more concerned. But 21 feels pretty good. I'll probably lay a couple of units on both of those. Yeah, T1 are averaging about what 15 kills per win,
15 kills per win. That's right.
LSB are 13 and a half. So it really doesn't feel like it feels like we're gonna get from what I feel like we're gonna get 3-14 in 3 games. So we're
Awesome.
like 17-2 games or whatever. So we'll see.
Ah, all right, fair enough, Moose. Well, hey, we're going to take a quick minute before we hop into the next game to plug underdogfantasy.com code Cove. Get your initial deposit matched up to $100. Come in and join the fun. We're going to sweat out some sub tickets. We're going to sweat out some ERLs, some academy. I mean, look, it's the best place to play DFS when there's not DFS elsewhere to play. And look, the variety of what they have is more than just the ADCs and the mids that you get over at Prize Picks. Fun lines are tougher, but you can get in. You can get some tough line or great lines. The win some over was a great call from the earlier stream today. Moose, did you know that we had a morning stream that you were not here for?
No, I didn't know, but thank God I was busy as hell.
All right. Well, Moose, also, we're going to take a quick minute before we hop into this other game and just remind everybody that if you're watching this on YouTube, go ahead, subscribe, hit the thumbs up, maybe get some notifications on. We picked up a subscriber earlier. I know half of you fuckers that watch this aren't subscribed. Go ahead, subscribe to it. Like I said, we're going to have a free roll if we ever get to 1,000 subscribers. Maybe we will, maybe we won't. Who knows? Tell your friends, tell your friends, tell your friends' parents, tell your business colleagues, tell them about the Shark Cove. And if we get to 300, let's say not 300. If we get to 200 Moose, we're going to launch the merch. We're going to give away one piece of merch. We're going to launch a whole Etsy website or whatever the fuck it is that people do these days. And we're going to have some sweatshirts, some t-shirts like the ones that I have. And maybe we'll even give away a mug or something like that. Maybe like a real life experience. Come and trade crypto with Moose. We'll have somebody fly out to your house and you can show them your like digital walking shoes that are now defunct, or maybe you can come get blackout drunk with me, do some mushrooms, something like that. Who knows?
I love me some shoes.
So let's hop over to this game. We've got Hanwha Life versus DRX. Now, this game presents some interesting thoughts in my mind, and I'm sure yours as well. Hanwha has really started to kind of gel together as a team. The expectations on them were sky high. They performed ground low or as low as can go. I mean, these guys were looking sicker than a fish near a train derailment. Too soon? Too soon? Anyway.
Way too soon.
But we are going up against, or not we, but Hanwha, I'm not part of the team. They're going up against DRX. DRX has been one of the teams that has given up more deaths per loss in the LCK. In fact, I think they are number one. Moose, if you had to guess, you had to put a number on it, how many do you think it is?
On what? How
How
many
many
deaths per
deaths per loss DRX has?
13?
13. I'm going to tell you it's 16 and a half, which is pretty high when we're talking LCK teams and we're talking season 13. So Hanwha has this opportunity to come out here and, maybe kind of just seize life by the horns. But I will tell you that their kills per win are not something that we want to write home about. I think they're only looking at, like, let's see, 165 total divided by 12, 13.75. Big favorites here. Who's quite frankly, I don't want to touch any of these lines. I think that they're pretty close. What I would want to do is maybe go under a 21 and a half, if that's the total. Maybe 20 and a half is the number I'd be looking at. And yeah, 20 and a half is what it looks like. But they are juicing you up on that. How do you feel here?
I don't like it. I don't like. I'm not paying juice. Not paying juice for 20 and a half, but I watched the KT DRX series thoroughly, and I was absolutely, I don't even know the words. Like, for how talented the players on DRX are, it is absolutely like mind-boggling to me that they play this bad. They play really bad. They make stupid draft choices. They make really bad plays. It feels like the whole team is just mailed it in like a paycheck. And I was a lot more yes, I was a lot more into the DRX upset of like maybe like a sandbox upset or like a KT upset or something. And I even played in the 180. I played DRX, but after watching them play, I mean, they are just fundamentally not a good team. Like they're just fundamentally, as Gelati put, the worst team in the LCK by far. And that we have Nongshim in that league. So it tells you a lot about the way DRX are playing, and I don't think that a 2 or 3 day break is going to improve anything in that regard. I think that this is a really simple Hanwha sweep, and I don't really know if Hanwha have to score a lot of points to get there.
Let's
I
take a
want
look at
them
the
to
most
score a lot of
recent.
points, but I don't think they do.
Uh, what are we looking at? Like the most recent series, you're talking about this one. It was a 9-2. It was an 18-7. Nothing exciting, but when we looked at how Hanwha took care of these bad teams again, 13 kills on both sides. Klid had what has to be his highest kill total of the season with 6. Side note, Moose, I've been playing a little bit of Wukong Jungle. Shit's fun, man. It really is. Once you figure out how to play Wukong, which I always had like the general concept and idea behind it, but I finally kind of really understood it a little bit more. I decided to take him to the jungle. Man, a lot of fun. Super squishy. Super squishy. Do definitely want to get ahead. Really feels bad late game when you're behind, but a lot of fun. A lot of fun. I've enjoyed myself. It's like drinking a nice spritzer or seltzer on a summer afternoon as the sun is setting, right around 8 o'clock in midsummer, where there's just enough light and you have a good buzz going. You're feeling on top of the world. The pool's closing. You're going home to take a shower to watch a episode of Shark Cove. Something like that. That's the feeling I get.
Okay. I feel like Wukong sometimes feels like you're just absolutely the most dominant player on the server, and then other times when Canyon was playing him yesterday, like the the entire opposing team just kind of built against him. So every time he did the whole like dash hit thing, that like they all do with their combos. Like every time Kenya did that, it did like no damage because the opposing team had like Cyan and Sejuani. But yeah, there's there's just not much there that I like. I still think Hanwha does score a little bit better today than T1. I feel like they're probably going to be in the same range, but yeah, I mean, other than Viper, can anybody else on this team score points? Like it
Well,
feels like
apparently
Vipers
Clid
are.
could today. I mean, Clid could today. He got 6 kills. Not today, but the other day. But I look, we're lingering. We're lingering a little bit too long.
Yeah, I mean this is a flat. This is a flat. Either you, yeah, you take either whatever HLE -1.5, or you just skip it.
Let's hop over to this game, Moose. In contrast to 2020, 2023 has not been kind to the LCK. In contrast, it has been much kinder to the LPL, but at times the LPL has not been kind to us. And I think it's because we abandoned our ways last year because of how it treated us. And look, this is a game that I have a hard time getting a read on. I mean, not necessarily from the standpoint of who I think is going to win, because I think NIP is without question properly aligned in terms of the odds here. Does LGD have a shot? Sure, they do, but NIP should win this. However, actually, the more that this processes in my mind, I start to think about this NIP team, and I start to think about the performances that we've seen. And I'm not impressed by them, but I'm less impressed by LGD. I think NIP win the series, but I think they're in jeopardy of losing a game. And if you lose a game, that just puts you in jeopardy of losing two. And if you lose two, you lose the series. Moose, who's going to lose this series? Not from a betting standpoint, not from a DFS standpoint, from a straight heartfelt spot. Tell us with your heart, who wins, who loses this?
So, take a look at the last game that LGD played over the weekend against Up,
Okay,
and
we'll take a look. Let's go find it. Okay, here we go. We found it. I'm
Ultra
going to open it up.
Prime, Ultra Prime played this game. They scored not one, but two pentas on LGD. They had two pentas. They had a
Well,
Rise penta and a Zeri penta to end the game, and LGD are, man. LGD are like, I mean that match pretty much shows you exactly what you're gonna get out of LGD. You're either gonna get
I mean,
absolutely no scoring
Moose.
or a ton of scoring.
Yeah, I mean, look. If you told me LGD scored 22 kills and got swept, I'd be like, hey man, that's pretty good, right? If you told me that they scored 21 in the first game, I'd be like, holy shit, like that's not good, because you look at these score lines in the second game, and one of the things I will say is
You
that
know
this
what you know what
really,
happened, right? What happened was that they both, like, when they went into the coaching thing, when they both went into the coaching thing after game one, they looked at the whole game and they were like, Why are you like what? Why did you do this? Why did you do that? Like, why are you guys being so aggressive? Like, stop! Like the aggression completely ended game two. There was no aggression. Everybody was just playing macro game two because of how ridiculous game one was.
well, and I think that the one thing that we can take advantage of later on in the show, as we get to that point of it, and the point, of course, that I'm talking about is the point where we have the underdog fantasy picks, code Cove at sign up.
So
Is I think some of these guys are going to have lines that are a little bit higher than what they should be. But also, when we look at NIP, this NIP team, I mean, recently has not lived up to the thoughts that you and I had for them. Look, there was this game. I remember this game very vividly. NIP 27-9 over LNG. I have tons of LNG. I was just like, I can't believe this is going to happen. This second game right here, NIP was in the lead for a good portion. In fact, I went to bed at halfway through this game,
and then
and then
LNG
LNG goes
became
ahead and wins.
optimal. You gotta be optimal.
Right, but then NIP ended up winning, so they
Look,
did put this together. I think that, like, when we look at this line, though, you look at a minus 435. I think that that's too high. I think LGD can absolutely take a game, and I think that these odds are a little bit skewed. Are they skewed enough that I'd want to bet on them? No, personally, I wouldn't, because I fucking lose everything right now. So I'm probably not going to do that. But maybe 2022, Chris probably does. So take that for what it's worth.
let's just summarize it. LGD's only win this split is against anyone's legend. NIP has notable close losses to top esports, uh, Edward Gaming, and they beat LNG. So you know what, Chris? Today I put on the pajamas. We're wearing the jammies today. Today we are NIPing it up. Give me NIP everywhere. Pajamas all over the place.
NIP,
We're going.
NIP, NIP.
I've seen I've seen what LGD can do, and I've seen what they're capable of. How bad they're capable of losing. Getting 2-0'd by TT, Invictus, OMG, and it's not it's to me this LGD team is if they somehow beat an IP, which is possible, they are optimal, but the minus 435 tag is there for a reason.
Okay. Okay. So let's close this one. Close this one. Game totals at 24 and a half. Look, I don't, I can't trust it, man. Like I want to go over, but like you said, it could, they present a lot of different ways to play the game. So let's hop over to this game. This is a game that I have a little bit more conviction on.
All right,
Um,
let's hear it.
well, Spell, were you not here earlier? I said that I didn't think that they could, but I thought the plus 315 was a very bettable line. Um,
TSM
and
looking good.
so, I mean, I did say that. I didn't do it. I did say it. So that is the end of my run bad. That right there was the moment that everything fell apart. I was wearing a T or not a TSM jersey, a FlyQuest jersey earlier today. But you can see I'm wearing the blue. I'm wearing the blue for our guys, the TT gang. Minus 145. They're actually kind of priced as dogs on some of the prop picks, something like underdog. Bayshon is on the lower half of things. But look, so TT minus 145, OMG plus 108. Not a huge spread here. TT obviously took care of business the other day, recorded some good wins. They've been, pretty stout after a little bit of a slow start. OMG really not necessarily anything to be excited about. When we look at these two teams and we look at their resumes, let's do that. Let's take a quick gander at who they've played. Why does it do this? Okay, so I'm gonna have to make this smaller. I don't know. Okay, like let me see something here. Oh, you know what? I have to do it on a different page because it's the LPL, right? This one. That's what it says. All right, so let's take a look at this. We got TT. TT has wins over IG, who we think are pretty good, LGD, who we don't. They did lose to LNG. This loss to Wii was pretty bad, but the win against Weibo, pretty good, right? On the other hand, OMG has shown us next to nothing with just wins over WE, who did beat TT, right? They beat LGD. They lost to LNG. They lost to RA. They lost to RNG. I don't know how much we can kind of hold some of these numbers against them. So, Moose, tell me what I'm thinking. Tell me what you're thinking. Tell me what I'm thinking. Tell me what you're thinking. Tell them what we're all thinking.
So I think that TT Gaming right now, especially after their weekend upset of Weibo, are at the highest peak of what we could consider TT Gaming. Like you mentioned, They've started out having a great split so far. They have one loss. Uh, Scoring has been pretty good. Juan Fong averaging a lot of points, and TT Gaming upsetting Weibo after Weibo took down JDG. So I think that this is probably the highest point I'm ever going to be on TT. Like I feel like everybody and their mom is going to see that TT beat Weibo 2 days ago, and they're going to go, damn, these TT guys are something else, man. And I know the LPL well enough to tell you that TT are not that good. They're good, but they're not. They're not. They, I don't know if they're top. And I say this as I took a lot of TT people in best ball. I am betting the minus 145 hard. I bet it very hard on Bet Online. Actually, you get minus 133. But I am definitely playing OMG in DFS. This feels like absolutely a prime letdown spot where TT Gaming come off of a crazy upset, and then they're going up against a very mid. I think I think the word to describe OMG is mid team capable of a high scoring upset.
That being said, you played a lot of DK last night too, didn't you? Though
No, I didn't play any DK last night.
you
I
didn't play
played
any
very low
demo.
DK last night. Yeah, played more Gen.
I don't know if that's true, Moose. I don't
I
know.
played
We're gonna have
LNG
to.
Gen. I played a lot of LNG Gen and
What did
RNG
you play in
LNG.
the 44, Moose?
I
Tell me.
played I played a weird DK LNG stack.
Whoa,
Uh,
whoa, wait, wait,
but
wait,
I played three
wait,
other
wait, wait, wait,
lines.
wait, 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 wait. You said you didn't play DK, but then
Not
all
in
of a sudden you
cash or in
did.
my big tourneys.
Wow.
Just in the
Well, of course
44,
you
I just
didn't
had
fucking. Oh, come on, come on. I'm not talking
look
cash. I'm not talking
OMG.
cash money here. We're talking GPP life, my friend. All right. I'm roasting you, but I saw you and Gugs up at the top, and I knew you guys were destined to fall. I had an Angel captain that made me feel super good because it was with LNG, and then I didn't have LP.
You need LP. That's the problem with a lot of League of Legends players. No LP. And in
No
this spot,
LP.
TT Gaming to me are in the primest letdown spot I've seen a team have in a long time. If the line is too small for sure, like TT should be minus 200 favorites here. TT coming off of an absolutely monstrous win, but they're not perfect. You know, they do have they did start off the season with two losses to LNG and WE. I'm not saying that OMG are the best team in the world, but I could definitely see a 2-1 win.
Gotcha, Moose. I gotcha. I feel you. Well, here's the problem that we have in this next segment. The next part of our show is significantly hindered. And I'll tell you why it's hindered. It's hindered because I haven't taken the time or they haven't responded when I did take the time to get Fantasy Labs to add NIP's entire roster. They have these issues. When teams change names and stuff like that, it's a problem. So probably when it comes to the cash segment of this show, we're gonna have to we're just gonna have to skip it because I have this feeling that you probably want NIP in cash, and there's just no way for me to facilitate that
So
aspect
I'll
of it.
I'll make it really simple. My goal tonight is just to fit as much NIP into the lineup as possible because if you do that by taking anything but a top captain, you're gonna have to play three LCK players.
Okay,
So just really simple. You put Invincible at the top, and then you play whatever combination of four NIP players, and then you just play HLE.
gotcha.
I know the top laners for this slate are awful. Like they like you got Zeus who can't score over 60, Kingen who can't score over 60, Invincible who should have a big game, and the combination of Hoya being the top guy, you know, who can probably in a win will get you 70 plus, and Shanji who in a win will get you 70 plus. So it's so cash wise, I think that this is a this is a spot for cash where you either play how I play cash, where you just four stack an IP hub, whichever way, and then you play the LCK lineups and you fill with players depending on your projections, or you swing it the other way. You play TT with NIP straight up, and then you just ride into the sunset, hoping that TT do keep keep playing the way they're playing.
Yeah, I will say the one thing and these aren't my projections; these are free rolls. So I'm going to go ahead and throw him or throw him out, shout him out. You can see pretty significant from a favorite standpoint that the NIP guys are a head and shoulders above everybody else. They're not super far ahead of like a TT or an OMG or even a T1, but they are considerably, especially Fodic, however you want to say his name, however you do say his name. But Zhu also is Zhu, whatever, is also very, very high above some of these other guys. So yeah, I mean, prioritizing them and finding ways to kind of figure out how you stack them with one of these other teams that you think is going to do really well. I think most people are going to try and find a way to, get TT or OMG in that lineup with them. Um, from a DFS standpoint, not talking cash, what are some of your favorite spots to kind of try and attack and take advantage of in small field tournaments? Because large field, I think, goes without saying. Teams like DRX, Sandbox, LGD, these big dogs that you don't want to play. Those are the teams to play in those kind of given situations. But the small tournaments, 100, or even smaller than that, where are you going? Who are you looking to? How are we playing it?
Yeah, I think you kind of nailed it on the head. Smaller tournaments today, I think that the TTOMG game probably decides everything. So I think you want to get exposure to both of those teams in some form or fashion. I imagine that the 333 will be absolutely stacked to the racks with just TT and NIP lineups. So if you're playing TT NIP tonight, you either play them in a some sort of a weird creative way, or don't play them at all, and play the something on the opposite. I think that if you're playing something a little bit bigger like the 44, then you definitely want to have your you definitely want to have your like upset like stacked to your cash lineup. So you definitely want to have an LGD in there in case LGD do show up. You always want to have one of those. But yeah, overall, I think given the fact that it's actually really difficult to make lineups today with four stacking NIP, a lot of people are going to try to lean on figuring out which LCK players are going to be delivering for them. So you could lean that way, but it's rough, man. Like I was looking at these LCK scores and it's just not good. Like 60 points is just what we're expecting to get out of like a good decent LCK performance at the moment.
So,
So
Moose,
like
one of the opportunities that I think that is there, because you pointed it out, people are going to put a lot of NIP and TT. I don't think that T1 scores are that much different than some of the other options on there. And then I think you can go with OMG. Like there's a probably very strong possibility, by strong, maybe like 20%, that OMG is the highest scoring team on this slate, and
mhm.
it's not even close, right? A dude like Shanji, Abel, Cream, both of these guys, the boy Cream, could score a ton of points. And I mean, you could stack them whichever way you want with a T1 team that might 2-0. And if just one of those games is a 19 kill game and then the other one is a 15, you're looking at 34 kills. I'll do the math for you. And if that's in a sweep, they're gonna score. I mean, in like depending on the part of the team that does the most killing or how the kill participation breaks out, you can feel relatively safe that they're going to be 60 and 70 point guys, right? Like, and the same can be said about NIP, but like, I can't run NIP because I don't have them in the projections. I just forgot. Um, what if they lose a game? What if they don't score well? I mean, we've seen it. We've seen it multiple times, not just with LGD, but we've seen it with NIP. So I think a really sharp way to get kind of different is just like take OMG or look, just get rid of NIP, like, and then just take one side of the TT OMG, stack it with an HLE, a T1, a Sandbox, any of these teams, and you're inherently going to be different. And you're hoping for lightning to strike in a bottle. You can hit a nail on the head, and hopefully you get paid out for it, right?
Yeah, that's what I've been trying to do for this last split, but it doesn't. The LCK teams are just not getting there. So I think Spell also put it well in the chat that like you could also play like we could very well have another just like double support type of finish or a double top finish type of deal where like this because when the supports right now are outscoring the tops, so I really wouldn't be surprised either way how that goes. But overall, yeah, I think if you want to get different in the smaller tourneys, definitely try a pair of players, specifically Viper and HLE. Maybe like a OMG HLE stack or like a TT HLE stack if you can whatever you can fit there. And that being said, we did talk about LSB and their potential upset because they're actually a good team. If LSB do pull off the upset that HLE pulled off against T1, T1 are giving up good points in losses. I believe that Viper did score really well in that T1 win. Yeah, he did. He dropped 95 points. So that's kind of where I would look if I'm looking for an advantage. The issue is that the sandbox guys are so low scoring that you really need it to be one of those like 40-minute games where they have 15 kills already down and then they need one more big fight to end the game type of scenario.
Yeah, so to just kind of reference your point, T1 in 5 losses has 76 deaths, so they are only 15. Maybe they've
Yeah,
had some
15.
spikes and different things like that, but um,
It's not crazy. It's not
it's not
crazy,
crazy. It's not
but
wild.
looking back at Viper did put up 90 plus points against T1 when the upset. You had Zika put up close to 80. Perhaps those numbers do get you there in an upset.
Perhaps, perhaps they do. Um, Most time for the last part of the show, it is the underdog fantasy part. So let's go ahead and pull this up so we can see. You can see. Oh, we don't want to see that part of it. Um, that was not working out. But let's put together. Let's put together a ticket here. Let's take a look at LOL. Let's see what we can do, and if there's anything that jumps out. So one thing that jumps out immediately because it's the first ticket on here is that Fodek is 12 kills. It's a lot of kills. It's a
Yeah, it
lot
feels
of
like
kills.
Fodek is people are onto us with the Fodek, and primarily it's just because NIP is so focused on getting Fodek Zeri or some sort of a strong carry, and then just feeding him as many kills as possible. So definitely
Yeah.
not
So
opposed to that.
so when we look at it, let's go take a look at this guy, see what happens. I mean, in these losses, he doesn't do very well, but in wins, absolutely crushes it. And I mean, you can see that even if he gets 2 losses or a win and a loss almost gets him there. And so, I guess what you're just hoping that doesn't happen is something like, I mean, I guess 2 losses, a sweep to LGD, because anytime that he's won a game so far within the split, he has scored very well. This would be kind of the disaster scenario here where he gets like a 0 or a 4 with an 8. I don't know if I want to put him on my ticket. I think that I'd have a little bit of exposure on the tickets to him, but probably not on this one at least.
Yeah, 12 kills is that just kind of tells you how pajama we are today. 12 kills is a
Yeah.
lot of kills, man. If the line was like 9 kills, I would destroy underdog, but 12 kills is a lot of kills. Fodek
So
in the win over LNG obviously scored some ridiculous number of kills. I imagine it was 27. His previous loss against EDG, he scored 17. And then the first win over Up went to 17 as well.
so I thought that this was the number that I really wanted to attack, but I think it was at 5.5 earlier. Maybe it's gone down to 4.5, and I think that 4.5 makes it a little less attractive. So we're probably going to skip over it. What do you think about the boy Cream over at 7? You think that OMG wins this series, but if they win a game and lose a game, I have it projected. Right, well, free rolls has them projected around 6.5. I haven't done my own projections, and I don't intend to. So I'm just going to trust his. And 6 is not a number that is higher than 7. It's in fact lower than 7. In fact, I think a lower than 7 number is probably the way that I want to go with this, because I personally think that TT wins the series, but at the very least, I think TT wins one of the first 2 games.
Yeah, if we think that OMG lose the series, then even in a 1-2 fashion, I think it comes close. But I think the line
Well,
is right
well, think
there.
think again, Moose. This is games 1 and 2. This doesn't include game 3. It's just game 1 and 2. So if they do lose one of those games, and under 7, look, 7 kills is definitely something that he is capable of doing in just one game in a win. But I think the ticket that I'm going to run looks something like this to start with. We've got Cream under 7. We've got Beishuan over 5.5 because I am betting that TT wins one of these games. And, if they win both of them, I think I'm even in better spots. And if they lose one of them, I think that this is still playable. It's still winnable. We're still, we're still cooking, you know?
Absolutely. Yeah, I love that. Can I give you a lock before you get off of it?
Yeah.
The Joao over 1 kill is like, just put the account. Like, what? Are you kidding me?
Let's go take a look at how that's played out so far this year. I'm going to go pull up Joe. I'll just pick up, pull up supports. And then we're going to go grab Ninjas in Pajamas. Joe has 15 kills in 15 games and wins. He has 6 kills in 6 games. So it's not as much of a lock as I think you might have thought it was before that, but it's definitely something that we're good with. Yeah, I'm good.
I don't
He's
know.
not a win. Look,
I
he's
just
not a
don't
win.
see how
He is
LNG is
this.
not how VNIP is not smashing tonight. You know what I
He
mean?
is the second highest killer from the support position in the LPL behind Wink, who's just leaps and bounds above. But I think that gives us an opportunity to attack some of these. Actually, Yayo over here, our boy, is a 1 kill guy, but he's got 12 kills in 10 games. So it's pretty attractive, but I think we're going to avoid that. This dude PP got only a 6 and 10. Um, I I think I'm not going to put on this ticket, but I think I'm going to take a PP God under with a Gio over, and maybe throw something else on there. But what about this dude Zeus? 5.5 kills. We think that they probably sweep. Maybe they don't. If like kill totals on this guy are more like 3.6, 1.3. In the sweep, he probably gets there. Otherwise, he doesn't. I think is this just kind of like a skip spot?
Yeah, it's a skip for me.
Okay. What about the boy Zeka? Zeka here is at 7 in wins. He's averaging, I don't know what he's averaging, but he's projected for 4.3 and a loss of 1.7. Obviously, he's not going to get it done if he loses one of those games. Is this a spot where we take the over and we assume that HLE is going to do it, or do we not trust this team at this point? Do we want to go somewhere else? I mean, I think we could probably avoid both of these, in my opinion, because I do want to like trend them towards the under, and I think they're playable. I think both of these
Can I
are
tell you
playable.
something? Can I tell you a
Tell me,
secret?
sure.
In their previous matchup with DRX, Zeka dropped 18 kills.
Okay. Are you
I don't
trying
know.
to say that this
I
is
don't
like
know
a
how many
like
he
a?
had game 1, game 2, but he dropped 18 kills. Here, I'll tell you how many he had game 1, game 2.
Do you think this is like a revenge thing for him?
No, 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 no. He absolutely 1v9 this game. I remember it. DRX won the first game, and then HLE DRX won the first game by 20 kills. HLE came back. Zeka had 7 kills on and 5 kills. 5 kills on Yoni, 7 in Akali. He had 12 kills in 2 games.
Okay. Look, I'm going to trust you, Moose. I will need a PayPal with the loss if he ends up
I don't.
selling this.
I'm actually just looking at the. I completely forgot that we've already round tripped the season. These are now starting to repeat, so we can kind of get a little bit of a look see. You know, we can get a little bit. Actually, no. T1 has never played Sandbox, which is weird. But yeah, this is the second time this season HLE are playing DRX. So let me read you some of their scores in the last game. Uh, that's actually crazy. I can't believe I overlooked that. So thank you for showing it to me. Clid put up 6 kills in a 57-point game, and
Huge.
Kingen had 5 kills in a 60-point game. But Zeka had 80 something point game, I think. And then Viper had a 90-point game, 88 and 90. So those guys are going to be kind of my bread and butter for LCK focused tonight in terms of their ability to go off.
So, what do we think about these guys over here? Shanji has one of the higher kill participations from a top laner. Actually, it's higher than Abel's. It's at 30. Dude has 27 kills. Kai, Aki, whatever you want to
Akai,
say,
Akai.
three adjustment. Like that's in wins though. But like if we go account for losses, Akai actually has five more kills than Shanji. Is this a situation where we go with the Akai thinking that they lose? Like, do they lose a game? And does that three number is that what if they
Is
lose three
there
games?
is there an Akai Able, or is it just Akai? Yeah, there is. Why would you
Yeah,
not just take the Akai Able at 4.5?
fair enough. Abel has four more kills than Shanji. That's why.
Then yeah, then let's do the Akai Shanji.
Let's
I
see
like
what
that.
else we got.
I like the Akai Shanji one as a definitely a potential one.
Oh man, we are
Stacking the
completed.
ticket. Stacking the
We are
ticket.
completed. But let's do this. We talk about this every single time, and I think it's worth mentioning. It lost last time. It won the first time. We've got Faker, who still has 26% kill share in wins. Owner only at 15.3. Faker ceding 1 point to Owner. Lost the last time that they played. Owner had more kills. It was one of his higher kill total games. Um, I still like this Faker line, and I don't know which one of these. That's a support kill. We don't play support kills on this ticket. We can play it with some of these. I think we go ahead and we do what we do, and we play Faker over Owner. It's been something that has been somewhat of a pillar of our UD tickets, and I don't think it's going to change. Not here, not today, not now.
Yeah. You gonna play the Faker over?
Faker over Owner, yes sir.
Faker over owner, I like a lot. I don't know what they're gonna do
Well,
about owner. I don't think. I think he's good. I just don't know if he's playing up to the
Well, Moose,
level we're
what
used
we
to
are
seeing him
seeing, we're
play.
seeing this in a lot of situations with different junglers, just because they're playing such money, they're playing by, and as a result, they're just not necessarily getting as many kills as they once did. But um, look, this is where I'm at. I don't know if the chat wants me to change anything here. Owner playing Italy. Well, yeah, he did, but like I'm not counting on that. So this is the ticket. We always throw some insurance on it because we
Ricky's
are
got the
fish,
ticket. Yep.
and we'll play some support stuff independently. Go ahead, spell. Go ahead, go do it before it pops up because we will put some money on it. But we're gonna go ahead and lock this tab. Boom. There
Man,
it is.
if OMG win tonight though, Shanji is gonna eat. Shanji is gonna eat
Yes.
breakfast. He's gonna eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Well, it is what it is, Moose. Look, we'll be back. I'll be back. I'll be here with free rolls probably tomorrow around 1 p.m. Eastern to go over the LCS. Moose, if you're around, it's 10 o'clock your time. You may be sleeping, you may be busy. I don't know. But we'll be back, Shark Cove. Double feature again tomorrow for Friday. It looks like Golden Guardians are, in fact, just handling Dig. This dude Spawn has one kill. He might get his second. But yeah, if you do
Was
go over here and
oh,
check out, Underdog Fantasy, use code Cove. Make sure you like and subscribe. Moose, what were you gonna say?
I
Take
said
us
that
out.
wasn't there a guy that said he's not sure if Dignitas will win one game on our show?
Was it you?
It wasn't me.
Oh,
I'm not that smart. But there was definitely a guy that said like I don't think that we're gonna see them win a single game. And I was like, damn, that's crazy.
I think that they will win a game, but I do think after this weekend, if they are in fact 0-9, it looks like they're going to go to 0-8. I think that they need to make a change in the bot lane. Bring up Tomo. Their
My
academy team
God.
right now is the best academy team or like one of the best, and Spawn is just outmatched, outclassed, out everything. The rest of these guys aren't playing very well either, but when you're missing one of the most integral parts per the meta on your team, it's just a bad look. So, all right, guys, hey, good luck out there. We will see you tomorrow, like I said, 1 p.m. and then, around 8:45 9 Eastern for the night show. Talk to you
Peace.
later.